Yes, that is a big poster with my name on it, but I promise I'm not a narcissist. This was actually a gift from my best friend. She photoshopped my face onto Beyonce's body, put it up at my 21st birthday party, and then had all my friends sign like really cute notes on it. So is it a little bit conceited? I guess, but is it conceited if this is only like 10% me? Just my face? I don't think so. But I will tell you, almost every time someone comes over to my house and they look at that, they're like, oh my God, you look amazing in that photo. And it gasses me up so much every time because I'm like, oh, so you think I look like Beyonce? Because that is literally Beyonce's body. When I tell them that, they're like, oh yeah, I think I saw a photo of her wearing that. So you think I'm thick like Beyonce? So you think I'm thick like Beyonce? Oh, I wish. Today. It's that time of the year in Chicago where you gotta check every day because you just never know. Like a couple days ago we had a 50-degree day, which is essentially summer here in Chicago, especially around this time of year. Also very atypical and very alarming from a climate perspective, but we're not going to devolve into an existential crisis at 8:30 in the morning. Today we're looking at high 44, low at 36, but high wind. What does it feel like though? Normally I get what it feels like. Wow. I guess it's up to me to decide what it feels like. Outrageous concept. All right. So in this kind of weather, I do a scarf and one of my lighter fall jackets. So maybe this guy. You know, this is the same coat that I've had since I was a freshman at Cornell University. So it's seen me through the good and the bad. It's also never been washed. As I'm now saying that out loud, I realize that's actually really gross because this is like a 7-year-old coat. But, you know, all I can do is hope that I'm not stinky. Isn't that all anyone can ever do? Is hope that they're not stinky. Oh man, I should probably take this to the cleaners. Because you become desensitized to your own scent, right? And then it's like, you don't smell you anymore and then, okay, whatever. Anyways. Okay, let's see what our best route is for the day. It's a 14-minute walk away, and it's leaving in 13 minutes. So let's see if I can catch it, because if not, I'm gonna be late. I'm exhausted. It is only 8:58 p.m. and Mama's ready for bed. This was one of the most productive days I've had in months, honestly. I feel like this angle is like not cute. How about that? Is that better? Yeah, I think that's a little better. This was definitely a little bit of an atypical work day. We were running from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. straight. I really didn't take I might have taken a 30-minute break in that whole time, so we knocked some stuff out. And I vlogged today. I had a really good workout today. It was quick. It was efficient. I was in and out in like 40 minutes. Got a good little pump. I feel like the politics of the gym are really fascinating because for a very long time, I felt really intimidated by the weightlifting area and like all the machines and stuff. But I feel like with this new gym membership and this new space that I'm in, and also having a program that's been designed for me that I literally just have to plug in and follow, has really helped me become more familiar and like comfortable with a lot of these tools, like all the equipment and stuff like that. And also, I feel like it's taught me to take up space because I think so many women and like femme presenting people oftentimes like default to more cardio based ways of working out. I definitely was guilty of this for a very long time because so much of the messaging that we get societally is that like the goal is to be as small and petite and skinny as possible. And so like what's a very quick way to burn a lot of calories? Cardio. And I think that's why like oftentimes you see a lot of women and femme presenting people on like the elliptical or like running or doing the more cardio based like workout classes and stuff. And look, I love a cardio based workout class. I ran a half marathon for God's sake. But in terms of the research I've been doing recently around longevity, it's actually super duper important that we all build a lot of skeletal muscle. And yeah, it's just been dope to grow in that way and to become comfortable taking up space in an area of the gym that oftentimes feels very masculinist, even though weightlifting is not inherently masculinist at all. And actually, I think it's super important that we all like prioritize building strength in that way. Any whoosies. Here I am on my soapbox. Today's been an interesting day politically as well. I don't know if you all saw the whole drama with Chuck Schumer and Trump, where Trump called Chuck Schumer a Palestinian, essentially using the term Palestinian as a slur. That's what I made one of my pieces of content today about, essentially unpacking Trump's history of anti-Blackness, anti-Semitism, and anti-Palestinian sentiments, and how all these things are deeply intertwined. And, you know, it's interesting. I feel like when I first started doing this work online, I felt very like timid about it in a way, you know, like I've always had a very strong position, but I think there was a timidness for me earlier on in this work around pushback. Like whenever I get pushback, it would really hurt my feelings or really make me feel a type of way. But I feel like now I'm at a point in my career where I really do feel very resolute. And that's not to say I get it right all the time. That's not to say, you know, I don't think that there's not still room for critique or interventions or improvements on all the things that I put out into the world, frankly. I think that should always be welcomed. And that, for me, that's part of my Jewish values. It's to hold space for that respectful debate and disagreement and dialogue. But I just feel like, especially in this political moment, there is a clarity that I'm arriving to that I don't know I've had at any other point in my life in this way. It's sad, the circumstances from which that clarity is arising, but it's arising nonetheless. And, you know, not in like the toxic positivity vein, but in more of the shedding light on a terrible situation vein. That's my positive takeaway, I guess. I pre-made some air fried chicken and lima beans with some kimchi. And then I have some vanilla yogurt with a little clementine and some chocolate chips. I'm happy as a pig in shit, honestly. I feel so content lately. And this weekend I'm gonna get to see my mom. I might be going on a date this weekend. You know, part of the reason I decided to start vlogging here is because I feel like so much of the work that I do is educational, and it's like my hot take on what's happening in the zeitgeist. And that's cool. And that's a decision that I made in terms of what I want to offer to the world. And I think there's a lot of value in that work. And like, I'm also a human being, and I feel like I need space outside of that to like share myself with you. I want to connect in a different kind of way. And that's what really has drawn me into the more vlogging space. I think also too, you know, a lot of the vlogs, a lot of the content that I watch, it's like a 50-50 split. Either I'm watching other people in sort of a similar niche as me doing political social commentary, or I'm watching the lifestyle girlies and indulging in the escapism and the beauty of that, of just like cherishing the mundane everyday parts of life. I think that's actually a really sacred thing, like ritual and repetition and yeah, just like the integral facets of life, like what it looks like to feed yourself, to nourish yourself, to spend time in community. Like these are beautiful things to display and to allow our lives to be a testimony or a lesson for other people in ways that feel significant. So why can't I also participate in that, you know? But then part of me had some self-doubt around it. Like, do people even want that from me? Because I've built so much of my career on what kind of like intellectual things I can offer, as opposed to, I think, my audience or you all feeling connected to me as like a person for my personality. I don't know that I've shown a ton of my personality beyond like maybe some dancing or a little, I don't know, something here or there on my stories. Maybe that's not true, and feel free to correct me if that's wrong. But yeah, it's a new era. It's a new era. I want a different level of vulnerability here and just like human soul to soul connection. It's important. I'm more than my work. I'm more than my hot takes, and I'm more than my political interventions. And those things are super important to me. And the personal is political and the political is personal. And I learned that from my studies as a feminist gender and sexuality studies scholar, major, and undergrad. So all these things are connected. They're not separate. I just want to weave in some more of the personal. You know what I mean? So good. The last time one of my friends came over to visit me, she logged me into her Peacock account. And when I tell you I've been having a field day. Ooh, doggy. Woo, doggy. I had not rewatched The Office or Parks and Rec for a solid 5 years. Like, when they took it off of Netflix, that was a gut-wrenching moment because literally I would just rewatch these shows on repeat. I have a handful of shows I rewatch on repeat. BoJack Horseman, Parks and Rec, Gossip Girl, The Office. Those are my 4 core ones. And then I have a couple others that I'll sprinkle in every now and then. I saw a TikTok at some point explaining that people who rewatch the same media over and over again do it to like soothe their anxiety because there's something nice about knowing what's going to come next in a show. Like there's something appealing about the predictability of it all. And I mean, that sounds resonant. I'm someone who struggled with anxiety and depression and things of that sort. But also too, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching it for the first time again because it's been so long. So anyways, I'm on season 7 of Parks and Rec. And that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my night. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to watch that for the next 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to shower and then I'm going to take my behind to bed at 9:30 p.m. because I'm on my grandma shit. I'm trying to get my REM to the exact right amount and my sleep stress to the optimal minimal amount. And in order to do that, I need to stop eating so close to bed. That's already a fail cause. And I need to stick to my nighttime ritual. My nighttime ritual has become so sacred, and maybe I'll talk about this more in a vlog at some point, but I have finally figured out a daily schedule, Monday to Friday, that works for me, that allows me to get like all my work done in an efficient manner, and that leaves me like not feeling depleted. Like I feel full at the end of the day. And this may sound like a small feat, but I think when you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself in the way that I do, there's a beauty and there's a challenge to that. The beauty is that you have complete autonomy to be the architect of your life and your day-to-day, and that there's tremendous freedom in that, right? I could do this job from anywhere, which is phenomenal and such a blessing. The challenge then is that I think when you're an entrepreneur, it requires a really intense amount of discipline because I don't have someone breathing down my neck like, this is what you need to do every day, Raven. You need to get a post out today, Raven, right? Like I'm that person breathing over my own neck. And so if I don't have that internal, like, get up and go, nothing's gonna get gone. Get dim dom dim dim. Nothing's gonna get done. It's an awesome responsibility. And I feel like in this last week and a half, just now, like 3 years into this career, I have just cracked the code. Literally just cracked the code of what my daily schedule needs to look like so I can be fully nourished and successful. Spiritually, like mind, body, soul, professionally, financially, everything. And I'm shook. I'm shook. I feel like I'm on a serotonin high for my workout right now. I don't know why I'm so hyped right now. It's almost bedtime. And now the boys are fighting. Ah! If y'all knock my globe over, those are my cats. I promise I'm not talking to Casper the ghost. I'm not losing it. Lima beans never tasted so good. All right, I've been recording for like 16 minutes. That's plenty, right? Yeah, that's plenty. If there's anything you'd like to see me vlog in the future, let me know. I mean, some things I'm thinking about. I'd love to take you with me to DC when I go to do excursions for work. More of the everyday mundane, like morning routines, nighttime routines, stuff like that could be cool. Sprinkling in a little bit of the personal and a little bit of the political at all times, baby. I'm gonna enjoy this feast, and I will see you in the next one. Good night, y'all. Bye. Is that corny? Do people do that anymore? Like the little... I feel like I've done that in old videos, but that feels like old school YouTube. Did I just age myself? I am an elder Gen Zer after all, so... And checks out. Okay, good night.